What was the most important thing that you want the world to understand about the fighting in Gaza from the perspective of an Israeli soldier?
I want them to be able to get into our boots, to understand our dilemma through that fight, through the combat, to understand that we are human beings, that I'm an expecting father, I'm a newlywed. The last thing that we all want to do is to participate in war. We rather to have a boring life with our family. We don't want this fight at all. But we understand that we have to fight for our people, because if it wasn't for us, we're not going to have no states. And to be honest, I'm always saying that we are defending the world because we fighting people, terrorist organization who want to wipe out not only the state of Israel, but the entire West, and they're fighting against any West values. So we're trying our best, but while we fighting to bring back our brother and sister, we basically protecting the world.
How can you say to those who claim that there is evil intention to Israel's defensive actions in Gaza?
So basically, one of the time we were needed to concrete a school, and we knew that that school was full with civilians, but we also knew that that school was full with terror infrastructure.
Right.
So we knew that we have to concrete that school, but we didn't want to hurt those civilians.
Yeah.
So we start calling them all out. No one
with
left
with a microphone, like with a megaphone, saying leave.
And no one left the area. We didn't understand why. So we used a drone in order to scan that school from above. And then we saw that there is Hamas guards inside that school that didn't let those civilians to leave the area.
So Hamas was holding their own civilians hostage in that school.
But more than that, from the drone, it seems like a 5-year-old kid who tried to run away, and one of the Hamas guard took his AK-47 and killed a
5-year-old kid who tried to run away
in front of his mom. And in that point, we understood that we have to kill those guards, not only for our sake, but also for those civilians' sake. And we wanted to concrete that school, but then this is leading to your point when we wanted to kill those guards.
And what they do to protect themselves. Okay. So you've asked me to read out a very moving passage about the snipers trying to get rid of the terrorists. When I spoke to one of the snipers, he told me that the terrorist had gone up to the roof and faced us, holding a baby to protect himself. The baby belonged to one of the women who surrounded him. The terrorist knew that the baby would provide him with the best cover he could ask for, our morality. The uncompromising and unequivocal morality of the IDF. Behind him, there was no friend he wanted to protect in the name of friendship and camaraderie, just a scared photographer trying to catch the moment when the occupation army shoots an innocent baby. But we're better than that. On one occasion, he goes out to the balcony, surrounded by women and children. One of the women moved, and that was enough for our snipers. Sasson pulls the trigger, and the terrorist falls. In one brief moment, the whole situation changes. The women and children start screaming, and the terrorists who were behind them take him, and within a few seconds lay him on a door that they use as a stretcher. It was swift and impressive. They seem to be used to this already. In the background, an announcement in Arabic calls again for civilians to leave the area around the school. The announcements, along with the killing of the guard, prompts a swarm of civilians to start to leave. So essentially, you're saving all of those civilians trapped by Hamas in that school where they shot point blank a 5-year-old boy in front of his mother for wanting to leave.
Yeah.
And that really is what the world needs to know. The cruelty of these people, not just to our people, but to their people,